So you want to play Jagged Alliance 3 on Mission Impossible and you don't know which guys to pick. So I'm gonna tell you which guys you have to pick to have a comfortable run through the game. Whether it's Mission Impossible or even normal difficulty or easy difficulty, it doesn't matter. So you need your bases covered. This game has skill checks. So the first thing you want to do is to get the best at the skill checks required. These skill checks are medical, mechanical, explosives, wisdom and leadership. So you want to have someone with high stats in these abilities. We're gonna start with Barry. Barry is pretty much a dude that you have to take. He's cheap as hell. He doesn't need a medical insurance fee. He's got 92 explosives and his stat line is pretty decent. He's a frontliner, so he's gonna be using grenades and shotguns. And he's gonna just make every single skill check for explosives. You can delay Barry and get Larry instead, but that requires you to beeline for Larry and acquire him before you try anything else, because explosives is gonna be a problem. You're gonna miss out on parts because you don't have Barry in the tutorial island, so you're gonna skip the part gathering in Emerald Coast. There are a lot of landmines over there, so I do recommend you get Barry nonetheless, and maybe Larry can be part of team number 2. You then need Livewire. Livewire is a mechanic, and the best mechanic in this category. She is a little bit expensive, but for what she brings to the table, she's a top pick. She also comes with a lockpick, so you can start collecting those early locked containers without having to backtrack, because time on Mission Impossible is very important in the beginning. You want to get everything perfectly. So you want to time everything perfectly. You don't want to waste time. You need to go there, get a couple of mines running, and then you can do whatever you want, but you need to really optimize your time. So she's got 85 mechanical, 94 wisdom. Her marksmanship is very low. Her health is very low. Her strength is very low. So she's not the end of all mercenaries as they make her out to be. But you can train her with these skills. She will be a very decent mercenary. She's also a decent medic if you need someone to side heal. But she's gonna be your mechanic. She's gonna succeed at every check. Her high wisdom allows her to take care of the wisdom checks, which means we're now left with the medical. MD is gonna be hands down your best medical bet. There's no one else. Sadly, we don't have Spider in here, which is a shame, but whatever. I understand you cannot put Bull, Spider and all the other mercs here. So MD is gonna be your medic check. 81 will take care of any medical check. He's got the teaching perk, which allows you to train militia faster and train other people faster, which is also a good thing. I don't know what he can train them in, but it's there. Sorry. And that's it. You can train him in marksmanship along with Livewire, so they can become decent shots, because this accuracy is really bad. Now that you've got your bases covered, you can go 2 ways. You can go with an imp, because if we try to hire them. Also, please notice that these guys will sometimes raise their salary for no reason. I suggest you restart the game if your starting team asks you for some outrageous prices, because you won't be able to make a full team. So you now have 11, let's say $12,000 available. So if you count 7,000 for your imp, you are left with like 5,000 for another party member. So with this setup, you can start with your imp. 7,000, you are left with 4.8 thousand, which means you will be able to afford only 1 mercenary here. So you're gonna end up with 5 mercenaries. And that's okay, you can end up with 5 mercenaries. I went with Mouse and my imp, and later on I got Meltdown for the heavy weapon. But with the bases covered, I'm gonna assume You don't want your imp, so you're gonna go with other team members. We need Kalina.
Hello, talking computer.
If you
I
don't
am
have your imp, because Kalina has good leadership and she's a sniper. 80 marksmanship, that's amazing. You want her in your team because your guys here, they really do suck. So you need someone that can reliably hit. I don't care about their equipment. You will find plenty of these sniper rifles in like the early game. You will be swimming in those and you will be deconstructing them like crazy. Something that really bugs me with this game is the weapon progression is really bad. You will be running assault rifle like crazy. But she's very good. Her stat line doesn't allow her to really shine in what she's supposed to be doing, which is sniping, because she's lacking the dexterity, she's lacking literally everything. But she's a good shot, and she's got leadership, which is something you need. I don't think it's gonna be enough to take care of all the leadership checks. That's why I went with my leadership imp. And then you want to pick someone between Grizzly, heavy weapon, and which you want to go with Grizzly for the heavy weapon, and you have to pick between Igor and Mouse. Now I cannot get Mouse because Barry asked for more money. If he didn't, I would be able to get Mouse, and in this case I can only get Igor, so we don't have much choice but to go with Igor, and he raises the price, so it's not good. But these are the people you want in your team. This is the task. You have 6 people, which means good inventory size. Igor, Grizzly, Barry, and MD to some extent will carry a lot of stuff. Kalina and Livewire will not carry that much, but that's okay. If you start with Mouse, she doesn't have much strength, so you know, you carry a little bit less things. For if you want to go the imp route, I'm gonna show you what you can get with your imp. Obviously you will not have Barry and Grizzly, and you don't have 6 guys, you have 5 guys. So get everything to 0 here, get marksmanship to 80, wisdom to 80, leadership to 70, strength to 80, 80, 80, and 80. So this imp is gonna be able to train everybody into everything, because you've got your bases covered, which is why I made you get Barry, MD, and Livewire. You can train anyone else because you got a good imp. So next, teaching, psycho, and 1 feat of your choice. We need teaching because with high leadership we will be able to train militia and train people really fast. And the extra perk we get here, we can spend it wherever we want. You can spend it where you want, depending on what you want to do with your imp, because you got good stats and you can basically acquire almost every feat. You can pick anything you want. If you want to be a stealthy dude, we got 80 agility, you can pick the stealthy guy. You got the martial art, you can be a melee, you can pick one of these choose. This, I'm nah, but this one is very important for melee. Heavy gun, burst fire full auto if you want to go with assault rifles, some machine guns, or machine guns. You got CQC training, major accuracy bonus, you can go with handguns and shotguns. Mr. Fix-It if you don't want to fight. This is good for night ops, you can pick this one if you don't know. If you want to know which combat style you want to go for, pick night ops, because you'll be fighting a lot of night battles and on underground, and really night goggles really remove your headpiece. And if you want to be stealthy, you can take stealthy. So once you've done this, you have to pay 7,000. So this is the starting team. So you have 2 options. You can start without your imp and get these 6 guys over here, or you can start with your imp and get Livewire, Barry, MD, your imp, and then I went with Mouse because she's really the sneaky girl, and my imp really was not sneaky. He had the burst fire full auto bonus accuracy, so I needed someone who can initiate combat, and the combat initiator is a stealth person. So whoever is good at stealth, like these two guys, should be the fight initiator, meaning they will start the fight by trying to kill someone sneakily and stealthily. If they fail, they fail, especially this guy will fail a lot because his stats for melee are not great. But it is what it is. He's not as good as Mouse. Dexterity affects the chance of stealth killing, so Mouse is obviously better. But you can train him if you want. Regardless, this is the team composition I recommend you start with. There are more advanced team compositions. You can start with Ivan, and because of his perk you can literally kill entire towns with just this guy. I don't know how he would fare later in the game, but there is also the Buns combo. You can start with Buns, Wolf and your Imp if you want. Like Wolf is pretty average. He can repair things, is like a jack of all trades, but it's not gonna cover your bases. Buns is not gonna be covering your base. Buns is a sniper, but you got a sniper, an all-rounder and your Imp, so you'll be breezing through the early game content, but you will be missing out on a lot of opportunities to unlock containers, get through the skill checks and whatnot. These two guys also can train militia, so you'll be very fast at training militia. And in the case of these two guys, your Imp can be a mechanical or explosive Imp. I recommend a mechanical Imp if you get these two guys. They will be taking care of the enemies, you will be taking care of the mechanical part and the skill checks. There are other starting options, but they're all very expensive. So when you start on Mission Impossible, you don't really have much choice. Anyways guys, this is the team selection. The guys you need to stay away from are Steroid and Omrin. These two guys have no place in any team. Their stats are not great. At least Kalina has leadership. Omrin doesn't even have leadership. So here is like worse than Kalina at mechanical, same marksmanship. Maybe slightly better stats when it comes to strength, so you can carry a lot more wisdom, but I don't see any type of value in this guy. I will stay away from Fox because she is, first of all, she's a scoundrel, so she overlaps her skill set with the Livewire. She's got 69 medical, which I don't know if it's enough to succeed at every single skill check. 69 marksmanship is nothing great. MD has a 68, costs less. She's got 100 dexterity, so she can be a good like stealth character, but I will not do that because she's lacking the stealthy perk, which gives her more kill chance. And who else do you want to avoid here? No, that's about it. Everyone else here is usable. These two guys are usable. Anyone else here? I don't think you want Grunty in your team. He's too average. And is more expensive than, say, Grizzly. And anyone else here? No, these guys, I never found a use for these guys, because by the time you get enough money to hire these guys, you're basically at the end game. You usually end up with one team and a second team that you really don't do much with. So it is what it is. So these are the possible team combination that I recommend for starting out Jagged Alliance 3 on Mission Impossible or any other difficulty to succeed and see the vast majority of the game. Now obviously, if you don't have an Imp, I recommend you get someone with Psycho, so you can get most conversation. So you can like remove Grizzly, get maybe Igor or Mouse, and try to go for Meltdown. By the way, you don't need 6,000, you can lower the contract duration to something more akin to you, like 3 days, and you will renew that later. Because you will get a boost to your cash once you capture Ernie. And allows you to really renew contracts, maybe hire the last team member you need. You can train militia here, repair stuff before you attempt to take the last place here and go into the mainland. For those who are curious, Larry is found here if you want an explosive expert. Smiley is found here. Pierre, if you have good stuff done, you will find him here at F19. And Major Spike Rascallion, you can find him in A20. And Flay is around the savannah here hunting. I don't remember exactly which one of these areas you can find Flay. It's a place with a lot of hyenas, so it's maybe here or maybe here, I don't know. Don't remember, honestly. Those are the 3 guys you can get. So anyways, guys, thank you for watching, and hope you enjoy Jagged Alliance 3. Take care.